Hi, welcome to the TriEssence martial art channel. Today we're going to talk a bit about the Xingyi tiger form and its relationship with Yiquan's tiger form. But I usually don't post videos about Xingyi because I don't consider myself an expert in that system. I don't like to post videos on things that I don't know very much about. However, recently I got into a comment on someone else's Xingyi form and the person asked me that I need to show my own, in which case I will then show my not very polished Xingyi motion. Right, in tigers they're very smooth. I've only practiced one of them called Hu Pu, which roughly translates to a tiger pouncing. Right, so there's three different versions of this. Mine looks similar to this. There's here. Right. Alright, next we're going to briefly talk about the type of power we're after in Hu Pu or tiger pouncing. Obviously, like I said previously, I'm not an expert in Xingyi, so my experience to this power is more from the Yiquan background. Yiquan is a system that derived from Xingyi, so it has some concepts are similar, some are very different. For example, the way Yiquan punches are completely different from Xingyi principle. But luckily in this case, Hu Pu is very similar. The only difference is the way the body is structured and the motion is slightly different to the conventional Hu Pu. And next, we're going to talk what kind of, so I'm going to be speaking with Yiquan experience just to explain more or less what kind of effect one should get from doing Hu Pu. Okay, when we talk about Hu Pu, there are there are more or less three types of powers that you can get. The first one is to hurt the person, right? That's the more direct one. I want to just hurt him, I don't want anything other effect. When you're doing this type of power, you want to shock inside of him. Yeah, so you don't want him to go very far. You'll see some shaking on the body, and I'm not going to do a full force, but it will look something like this. Alright, you see the body shakes, but then it displays. So the less he moves, the more damage he receives in the body. However, the problem with this type of practice is you don't really see how much power you have, right? You can do it to somebody and say, does it hurt? The guy will say, yeah, it hurts. But you don't know at what level you are at. So that's why there's also another method where instead of focusing the power here, you focus it behind him to prolong that force. We call it a long force in Chinese martial art. And in that case, it will better display exactly how much power you're able to generate. So we come to the second one. The second one is basically when I hit him, half impact, and still send the person back, right? And the third one, of course, is when I don't impact, I just touch here, and then send the person back. Now, regarding sending a person back, there's a few things one need to be careful. First of all, the guy can't stand like this, alright? If he stands like that, there is no back support. So any kind of force, the guy's going to fall back. It doesn't prove anything. So when you see somebody demonstrating like that, then he's not really doing it right. Second of all, you cannot use too much momentum. So then normally is you can't go from here and go like okay. Once again, almost everybody can do some momentum. And furthermore, people are not gonna let you charge from this far away into it and then still doesn't do anything about it. Alright, it's not practical. People can see it from outside, it's gonna move. Third, it's incorrect to do it first by stepping completely into the person. In some cases, people go here and go like this, and then they push the guy out. Okay, once again, because your legs are already taking over his center of balance, so obviously pushing him is a lot easier. But against a person who's responding, the moment you step in, but your hand doesn't push, he's going to do all kinds of stuff back to you. So let's put this down. Let's imagine he's not willingly letting me push him. If I step all the way into him, he's going to do all kinds of stuff. I can't get a clear shot by first taking my leg in and then pushing him out. Okay? That is not practical. So the correct way of doing this, okay, so one more thing. You don't want to push the guy like conventional push. In other words, you contact the guy and you push him out like this. Okay, the reason for that, you're basically pushing him out by contacting him long enough. And the more you contact on the target, the more momentum you generate. That's why he moves back. It's not real power. And furthermore, no one will let you touch him that long. Same problem, right? No one will let me touch him and and still have like 2 or 3 seconds of time to push him away. He's gonna, if he has a handle once again, he's gonna be doing all kinds like even though he's there. If I push him out, he's gonna do that. I'm gonna push my elbow out, or all kinds of, or even hit me, right? So you don't have 2 or 3 seconds on his body. In other words, if you're doing something like this, and then you it's not correct. It doesn't work in real application sense. And also, lastly, if you push a guy and he steps back casually, it's also not right. For example, he's not really resisting, and I'm creating very bad structural power, and it will look something like this. Alright, or if he doesn't, even if you try don't stop, but just naturally go back, stand like this. So if the motion looks like this, it's not right. Okay. So that just means the guy's not resisting you, and you're creating quite poor power generation. Alright, so now the correct way of checking yourself is that you have to contact him in a split of a second. Don't take too long. Do not use all momentum into it. You can step into him, but do not step into him first and then push. Okay, everything must happen simultaneously. In a split of a second, the guy needs to go back. And the effect is he needs to feel almost like tip over. He needs to feel he's going back involuntarily and he's not in control of his balance. That is what in Yiquan we call fan, which means to stand a person. Alright, so now we're going to do a demonstration of the first one, right, where I impact first and then send him. Move forward. So I usually, obviously I'm not very good at this, so I'm still in the intermediate level, so just act as a guideline to what kind of power one should generate. So I'll stand like this, or even very closer, right? You don't want to be too far, like I said, and then generate the power just from here. Okay, you ready? Yep. So that's the kind of power you're going to generate. Okay, and I can also do it without impact. When we actually do it against someone for real, but you don't want to shock his organs, to play medical balls. You just want to show him that the mesosphere goes back. You can use the impact and the sending. So there is a shock, but you're also sending out. Against friendly people, you can also do it this way, just touching him, right? Not impacting. Also, just not there's actually a slight sound to this. The one that you don't impact is like this. Alright? And there's also a slight variation to it, like the one where I can push slightly up, right? That way, it uproot him a lot easier. And note, you can pay attention to how his body reacts. That one looks like this. Alright, and you can also do the same force going downwards. Usually, if the person is taller than you, you push him up. If the person is shorter than you, you push him down. But not like this. You still here, but the force goes down. It looks like this. Alright? So that's what I mean when you send a force. Okay? And just keep in mind, a lot of times people say, but why do you want to do that? It doesn't hurt the guy. like expansion already, it is only there to show what kind of power you've developed. You know, how much further you can send a guy indicate how much power you generate. And if you don't aim long but aim short, that power will go into the person instead. So this most of the time acts as a guideline to see what kind of progress you made in your training. But also, it will be useful for friendly exchange, right? I don't want to buy his organs and pay for medical bills, right? I just want to show that I've got the upper hand and then I got time to generate power and he loses balance. Or of course, in a casual conflict where I don't want to really, my life is not in danger, so I don't want to hit him really hard in the organs. I just want to push him away that don't mess with me. In those cases is where you use the sense ending. But most importantly, just act as a guideline to see how much of the unified power you're generating, right? How much power you're pushing on the leg, how much power is coming through the hips, is your weight in the right place, is your spine amplifying that power, is your shoulder relaxing, is your elbow sinking, is your wrist projecting, is everything at the same time aligned together? That's what this long force demonstrates. Alright? So this is once again, let me just make this clear. The way I'm doing this, right, is from each, and this is not a Xingyi Hu exactly, right? Xingyi Hu looks slightly different, but the effect should be similar. Right? I don't want to fake a Xingyi Hu's power, because it's not the same power. But if you're doing Xingyi Hu, you should at least have a similar effect on the other person. The motion on the body, the line everything might be slightly different, but the person needs to be uprooted like this. Alright, that's the OBO for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the future.